Hi, welcome to 50 Plus Tech. This is the first episode of a new series I am starting called Renting Print Face, about going from a 3D printing hobbyist to a 3D printing business. I am in the hobbyist part now, and I'm working towards becoming a business, just a small one. I just want a small garden. I don't need fancy schmancy. I'm not looking to make a whole lot of money, just a little bit, because I have a printer and I enjoy printing. So just recently I decided that it would be a good side thing while I'm still working. I work in tech. I've worked in tech for decades. I've been at the same company for almost 11 years. I raised 6 adults that are 28 to 39. I am 61. So I am, just trying to figure out some ways that I can make a little extra income. So I did start in 2020. I got my first printer. It was an Ender 3 V2. I have an unboxing and a setup and a bunch of videos that I did back in 2020 to show you my experience with that. That poor baby is out in the garage. And the reason that she is out in the garage is because the bed leveling just got to be too much. I've always considered myself not a tinkerer, but I am finding that I am a tinkerer, and I did whatever I could, and it just seemed like there was just so much of a uphill battle just to get things printed. So unfortunately, she sat here and gathered. She was over here where this one is now, and she gathered dust for a year or two. And then in 2023, when the Bamboo Lab came out, which didn't require bed leveling, a friend of mine bought me this printer for passing my project management professional, my PMP. So I passed it. He bought it for me. I set it up. And when it arrived, it was the frame. It was just the frame. There was no enclosure or anything. There was no camera. There was no fan. There was no light and things like that. It just came as a basic frame, which was fine. And then it came as a basic frame. And then, one second. Oh, I printed the frame. I printed the thing that's holding the fan. I printed this, excuse my back. I printed this thing because I didn't like the fact that the filament holder was on the back of it and you had to load it in the back. So I printed this kind of sidewinder thing, and then you put the filament here and the filament goes in that little hole. So I had that kind of sitting on the side. So I printed that. And I started just printing things for fun, and I really did enjoy this printer more than the other one, just because the bed leveling was just a real issue for those of us who are really not into getting too involved in the printers. Just want to be able to pick something, send it, maybe tweak a couple settings, and then go off and do whatever you're going to do, and not have to go, oh, it's not leveled, it's not sticking to the bed, da da da. So yeah, that poor Ender is sitting. And I actually considered, they have kits that you can turn the bed, the thing that goes back, the bed that goes back and forth, but you could turn it into a better printer where you don't have to do the bed leveling kind of thing. So I thought about that, but it was as much as it cost me to buy it originally. So it's just sitting out there. This one, though, has been really great. So I decided a little bit ago, I am going to start using it more and maybe start printing stuff to sell. So I fired her back up because she had just been sitting there gathering dust. I fired her back up, and the first thing she said was that she had filament stuck in her sensor, or she had filament stuck in the extruder. So, filament stuck in the extruder. Oh, that means I have to take it apart, doesn't it? Okay, so I took the extruder out, watched some videos, and was able, excuse me, took it apart, and I didn't see any filament like stuck in the extruder. So there's nothing stuck in here. I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing in the gears or anything. I don't know. Put it all back together, stuck it back in there. Watched it, and then it cried again. I got filament stuck in my extruder. Could you get the filament out of the extruder, please? So I went and watched a video, really good video that outlined the whole thing from taking apart the extruder to putting it back together. And I realized I had missed one step. There's a filament sensor inside that extruder, and I hadn't taken that out of the extruder. I had taken everything else. I took the little gears and the, all the other stuff out of the extruder, but I had not taken that sensor, which is a plastic, clear plastic thing. So I did that, and there was a small black piece of filament, and I will show you a picture of what that looked like. And it was a little, oh, you did. Oh, no, I'm so sorry. Took it out, got the little black piece of filament, put the extruder all back together, stuck it back in there, started it up. I had another thing of pink filament. I added pink filament. I didn't have my AMS set up yet. So I put the pink filament in there, and I printed this. Okay, and this is basically a Scrub Daddy, those little sponges with the happy faces. So this is like a Scrub Daddy holder, and I said, okay, and I just grabbed something from Market World, so I just printed that. Great, worked great. Then I went, put that there. Then I said, okay, I'm gonna do like 2 more or something. Maybe I'll give them to the kids, or maybe I'll just put them in different rooms, whatever. So I did another plate with 2 of those, no problem. And then I said, oh, I think I'll put 2 more. I don't know why. I said, I'm going to do a couple more. Maybe I'll put a couple of these up on my upcoming store. So I went to print 2 more, and I got that notice again. I got that error. There's filament stuck in my sensor. It's like, oh, or there's filament stuck in the extruder. It doesn't say sensor, but I had a feeling I knew where it was. So I took it out. I took the extruder apart again, and got the, it was a pink piece about yay big, and took that out. And in the process of taking apart the extruder, I wound up breaking the extruder. There's a little board on a ribbon that connects to the filament sensor, and that board decided it was going to commit suicide. So it jumped off of my tabletop and landed on the rug right in front of my dog's face. I was sure that my dog was going to eat it, but he didn't eat it. Thank goodness. I guess he wasn't interested in eating it. I don't know. So I grabbed it. I was like, oh, I think this is important. And then I did connect the ribbon back to the little board and put it back in. And then it started complaining. I put the extruder all back together and everything. I had connected the ribbon back to the board, stuck it back in there. Then it started complaining about the cutter being stuck. The cutter is stuck. What? Okay, so what is that about? And so I tried a few times, and I broke it. I couldn't figure out any other way to get around it. It looked like I tried different ways of reconnecting the board to the ribbon. I think I just somehow borked it. So I bought a new extruder, put the new extruder in, and it was working great. It was extruding the filament, and we were doing fantastic. Then I decided I was going to go ahead and set up my AMS. And keep in mind, I had this thing set up for filament, and I had the thing that the filament goes through that connects to the back of it was not. This was connected in that spot, like here. This was connected there. So I took off that piece. I'll show you a picture of it. And I added the, what is it called? It's here. The filament buffer to the back, which is great. No problem there. But I started to have issues when I was trying to print after I had switched from just a single little external filament holder thingy to my AMS. And I'm wondering if you guys can guess what happened. I started having problems. I'm trying to think of the word. One second. Oh, the slicer kept saying that there was a, Z-axis problem. There was a Z-axis problem. There's a problem with the Z-axis. There's a problem with the Z-axis. I could not figure out what was going on. And I was getting, I finally got it to work for some reason. And I was starting to get things where the thing that they drop on here, this line, is up here instead of down here. And it was starting to chop up. I love this plate. I was so upset when it was destroying this plate. But it started messing up the plate up here. And then everything was, the back of it. And I could not figure out what the heck was going on. What is going on here? I don't understand. Well, it turns out that when I switched from the single this little thing to the AMS, and I connected the filament buffer, one of the pieces of the Bowden tube was too short. And so what was happening was, instead of being able to clear the corner, when it was going back and forth and et cetera, it wasn't clear. It was stuck on the corner. I have a picture of that as well. So that was causing this issue. And I wanted to call it a Z-axis issue. It's because, it was upsetting that it basically dug in. So yeah, I got that fixed. That's working now. But it was because the Bowden tube between the filament buffer and the thing that the filament feeds through was too short. So make sure when you make changes like that, because this is an older printer that I'm adding new stuff to. So yeah, that broke. So now it's working great. I just discovered some things. I got through the issues and tinkered with it, and now it works beautifully. I'm going to show you some things that I've printed since that's been fixed. I got my AMS connected here. It looks great. I'm learning how to use it. So it's done different stuff. I printed this peacock for my daughter that gave it to her, so I don't have it anymore. I printed these things from the Maker World. I'll take these off so we can show you. And this was after I fixed everything, so it's not bad. So this goes on my pegboard. And then I printed a bunch of these little things that you put on the filament rolls, on the spools, so that you can put the filament in there, in this little spot right there. Because when I would take the filament off of being used, I didn't realize that I needed to put the end of the filament in something to keep it from just unraveling. I've got a couple, let me put these back, otherwise they will never go back. Okay, so I was really happy about that, and these turned out really good. I printed the containers, so I felt, oh, that was really good. And then, because I was having issues, these two filaments, this one with the pastel, and this one is one with, oh, there goes my dragon. Started our dragon. So this is like a multicolor thing, and both of these are getting caught, so I'm going to have to rewrap those. But yeah, so now I'm starting to, oh, and this is for Ninja Creamy. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's for after you're done your Ninja Creamy, you put the cup in here and then you stick a spoon in there. And I use that. So that was, I thought that was kind of a neat thing. So now that I'm in that process, I fixed the printer. I'm going to, and I started trying to figure out what I want to print to sell. And I learned a lot about Patreon and Cults 3D and stuff like that. Like if I want to do, if I want to sell anything that I find on Patreon, then, you know, and I think I'm signed up for like 3 of them. And so if there's anything that I really like, I'm going to sell, I'll do that. So some of them that I really liked was these little clickers, fidget clickers. So I printed some of those. Those turned out really nice on my printer. Was super excited about it. And I bought some little keychain things to put on there. And I may try some different, like this is bunny feet, but I might try dog paws, cat paws, that sort of thing, and maybe sell them in sets. And the other thing that I printed was these little clicker things. And it kind of, I like these because I have a lot of mechanical keyboards and I have the switches that go in them. So I got to buy more switches so that I could create them. So these are really cool. And you can do them in different, you know, different sounds, linear, not linear, you know, you can make them quiet, things like that. So that's one of the things I think I'm going to be selling. And then these things too, these have 4 in it. So I thought those were kind of cool. So these came off my printer that I was having so much trouble with. Now I only have, and they look pretty good. Not seeing, you know, the bottoms look good, you know, things like that. I also, you know that you're getting serious when you buy one of these. So I bought one of these. I haven't used it yet because I'm kind of scared of it because I'm not very coordinated and I don't want to burn my fingers off, but you do need these. I also found out, a friend of mine told me, ooh, wow, okay. I'm not sure if I will leave this in. Okay, so a friend of mine told me, what did I drop? Oh, one of my pink things. Okay, about the deburring tool. I didn't realize I had one of these. I've had one of these for like 4 years. And I now have the deburring tool, so I'll be deburring. So one of the reasons I haven't gone business yet is because I am not at the point where I feel like my stuff is quality enough to sell. So that's going to be the next thing, is now that I have gotten through the issues I was having with my printer, I'm pretty proud of myself for having done that. The next thing is going to be figuring out exactly what my process is going to be for printing. The next printer I am going to buy is an A1, not the mini, just an A1. So I will buy that to help with if I actually start selling stuff. But I'm going to start by just doing some, build up a little bit of inventory, put it up on my store on Etsy, and then go from there. I have a lot more to learn. One of my goals is to be able to create my own products instead of just paying Patreon to download stuff, but I don't know what yet. So, it has been an interesting journey. Let me set this down, and I dropped something in the trash. It has been a really interesting journey, and I think the next episode, I will talk more about the business aspect of it, but I just wanted to talk about how I got started and where to go from here. So, I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. If you guys have questions or if you have suggestions, I am really at the very beginning of the business aspect of it. I am just going to go figure out how to provide the best product. And I'm not planning on going into bulk, but I do want to do some. So if you're a small print garden type person, then feel free to say something. And, oh, and I'm going to show you real quick. I got kind of exciting when Amazon was having its, its spring sale. I got 2 Overture Easy PLA for $22. So that's like on $11.99. I'm building up my filament collection, I guess you'd call it, or I'm building up my filament inventory. And I got 2 of these Overture for $11.99. So it was like $22 for both of them. So that was a really exciting thing. And I printed this poop chute a long time ago, but I haven't been able to use it because I need to, I'm not going to make the noise, but I need to super glue this so it goes behind, so it'll pick up all the chute. Oh, and before I forget, the other thing, Uncle Jesse did a, he's had 2 episodes he's done about what to do with filament poop. When I printed that peacock for my daughter, it took 2 days and 17 hours, and it was 4 color, and this isn't even all the poop it left behind. So I was like, oh, what am I going to do? I don't want to waste all this filament poop. So I found a shadow box thing. This is actually kind of cute. It's a shadow box, and then it has filament. You put the filament in, you print the little, I guess you call it a template. You print the little template, and then there's a plexiglass piece, and you print the box. So I printed the whole thing. This one's a butterfly. This one's a unicorn. My friend said I should probably separate the filament poop into different containers of colors, so I have more control, because he felt like this one in particular had too much white. So I might do that, and then as the filament is coming out, I may create, different Tupperware containers with that. And I also, you guys are getting like as if I was a kindergartner. Okay, and then I printed this cat one that I'm going to give my daughter. I just have to print the frame for it, the shadow box. But so I'm kind of excited about that, because unfortunately the printing, especially 4-color printing, leaves a lot of poop behind, a lot of filament poop. So there's some, this is to feed the filament poop into the shadow box. See how I have to take a burring tool to it. And you see how it has the skirt still kind of on it. So I got to work on that. And I've printed some kind of interesting stuff. This is for holding all your hot ends. Printed that a long time ago, but the quality on it is not very good. I think that's going to be my big key, is trying to get the quality of prints to the point where I would feel comfortable shipping it to somebody. I'm not at that point right now. I did fix my printer. I am getting some better prints out of it, but I want to get to the point where I'd be comfortable shipping it. So that's episode 1, guys. Next time we'll talk more about the businessy aspect of it. If I've decided what I'm going to print. I haven't decided when I'm going to get the next printer. And we'll talk about all that. If you have questions, concerns, recommendations, anything else, let me know. If I left anything out that you were unsure about, please feel free to say something in the comments. And I will talk to you guys next week. I'm going to try and do about 20 to 30 minutes a week of an update of how this is going, and if I've made, decisions I've made in terms of what I'm going to be doing for the business, for the 3D printing business. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please hit like. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe. And again, please don't be shy. Let me know what you think, have any recommendations, and I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.